Hey everyone, we're doing a gameplay video here of Honeypot. Also, I want to say sorry that my face is covering the card on the right hand side there of my hand. That I'm going to try to make my head smaller for future videos. And also, we got a helpful little diagram on the left here, which shows some of the patterns of what cards can get other cards. So I'm going to be using that to help me figure out what I'm going to be able to grab with my opening hand here. So my opponent won the die roll, and that means they get to go first. They chose to go first. How about that out? They're a Noah deck. So for this video, I'm going to be focusing on kind of what my deck is doing and not so much what their deck is doing. Just to try and, the focus of this gameplay video is going to be on how this deck functions and what it's doing. So to that extent, I'm going to be kind of skipping over what the opponent's doing here. He's putting a bunch of characters into play. Big attack on the first turn of the game. I could try to go for a block with the Terrifying Beast into Nero, but I feel like the opponent would beat me in battle for numbers. I'd just lose two of my evil characters. I decide to go for the Lying Prophet to block here, reveal their hand. They only have one good brigade in hand, so I only get to draw one card. I was hoping to draw, a lot of different cards off of this hand, but, that's okay. I get to draw Lost Soul. Allows me to underdeck a card to draw a card. I'm going to underdeck this card and draw a card. Right now, I'm just trying to dig towards those different pieces for the lock. Okay, there's nothing I can do. I have to give up an early Lost Soul. So the score at the bottom hasn't been updated, but it's 0-1 right now. Apologize for the lack of updates there. And I think the score counter glitches out later on in the game. So anyways, I get to think about what my turn is, because I need to figure out how am I going to stop their cards. Noah's Wife comes out, which makes their blue Genesis cards can't be prevented. So even if I do manage to get Holy of Holies out, it's gonna their deck is still gonna work basically. So I need to figure out a strategy for that. Okay, I'm deciding to underdeck David because I know I have a site that's just gonna get him back. I'm gonna play Holy Glory of the Lord to go grab the Tabernacle. My hand is stacked right now. I'm going to play my first territory class enhancement for the turn. It's going to grab Holy of Holies. I should have grabbed maybe Pot of Manna here because Noah's Wife is actually making it so their cards can't be prevented. But Pot of Manna would actually stop that banding chain. Activate David's Harp on David. Play out Moses. Right now, I'm just trying to get cards out of my hand so I can do Mayhem. I'm going to switch my Lost Soul for their Lost Soul. This Mayhem's not going to affect them because they have a Storehouse in play. It's only going to affect me. I'm not sure if it's correct playing Mayhem before I attack or after I attack. So let's say I attack and then I use David or Moses to grab something from my deck. It'd have to be maybe like a card I play in battle or a card that... So I have the option to play that in battle. I can't play it as a territory class enhancement because I've already used up my one territory class enhancement for turn. So, just thinking about what would be the best rescue attempt here be. I decide, I think, to go for Moses because Moses can grab Delivered. And if I get to play that in battle, I can activate Pot of Manna. And that's what I'm really prioritizing. I'm trying to get Tabernacle, Holy of Holies, Pot of Manna out right now. So they probably have the best card that they could have, Emperor Nero. I can't Angel the Lord it. I'm going to go Delivered, though, get my Pot of Manna out. So if I really wanted to, I think I could have gone Second Coming into Crouch Choice. Crouch Choice, go get Eleazar, the priest. Moses, attack, banned Eleazar. Have a really good attack. Angel the Lord, his dude. I didn't know he had Nero, of course. I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but I think I'm able to Angel the Lord Emperor of Nero now because it's moved to my discard phase. And once we move to the next phase, the ability of the character stops being in effect. So that's what I'm just talking with my opponent about right now. Comment in the comment section if you believe that was a right play or not play. I'm going to fire off the Mayhem now. Draw more cards. I probably should have played that Covenant of David in battle just to grab like my good Storehouse from, because I definitely can't play it now. I'm not sure if he's playing these or if he's just showing me he has them. Oh, right. I think he accidentally like shuffled his hand into his deck, but now he's undoing that because he had a Storehouse in play. And now it's his turn. I have a crouch choice here. I could have crouch choice for 3 Woes. 3 Woes to play it to negate Noah's Ark and then try to take out their Noah's wife. But when I was playing this game, I didn't realize what Noah's wife did. So I kind of thought all their cards were being negated right now. It's like, cute Noah deck, bro. All I know is he has a really strong offense. It's really hard to get rid of. A lot of blue cards. Getting a bunch of his stuff out of his reserve. I'm just checking mine. If you're curious about why I have 11 cards in my reserve, that's because I played a Lost Soul that allows me to reserve a card to grab a Wilderness Hero. And I ended up reserving an artifact from my hand to go grab Moses. So that was the beginning of the game decision that I didn't get to talk about because I had fast forwarded it. But just trying to keep these gameplay videos on the shorter side, not try to get in super detail about what's going on. Just trying to give you guys like a high level idea of what this deck feels like, what it plays like, what its strategies are, and what its weaknesses are. So Noah's Wife is a great card against my deck, and I need to figure out a way to beat it. Luckily, Pot of Mana is doing some work. It's going to make it so his big banding chain doesn't get off the landing. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, like when airplane goes on the runway. Right, runway. His big banding chain can't get off the runway because of Pot of Mana. A decision that I had, if I was worried about his ability to try and negate and discard my Pot of Mana, I could have gone crouch choice, grabbed my Eliezer the priest, and I could have placed him in play. So I wasn't sure if that was a good idea or not. I'm super cold to negating his ability to negate neutral cards right now. Or if he plays like a 3 Woes, and the 3 Woes can negate neutral cards. So if he had 3 Woes here, he could negate my Pot of Mana and just start attacking with a giant attack here. And so just to remind you what the score is, it's 0-1. I have 0, he has 1. He's coming in with a rescue attempt. He can only attack me with 1 hero. And because he has a Storehouse out, I've decided the best strategy I can do here is grab my Entrapping Pharisee. And for those who don't know, the way this card works, it says I have to reveal a New Testament grade card from hand. So I would have revealed Pretension. And then I get to capture one of his characters unless he, I think, underdecks a card from his hand of Matching Brigade. But because his hand is protected from my Entrapping Pharisees, I just get to capture his character can't be negated. Pretension is a territory class enhancement. So I'm going to reserve a hero. I'm going to put 2 of his characters. I'm going to harm 2 of his characters so they go to Noah's Ark. And if I was going to go for this crouch choice, I should have played crouch choice, then get 3 Woes. Yeah, because if I had negated Noah's Ark here, all those cards would have just been gone or reserved. But now I have to worry about them a little bit. Play down some fortresses here, get a shield going. My hand is pretty stacked on defense right now. We'll see if I can try to break through here. But now his Noah's Wife is gone. His heroes are a lot less effective. So yeah, I end up going for 3 Woes on Noah's Ark. Because of the new ruling change, I can actually target stuff in his set-aside area. So Noah's Ark strategy got a pretty big nerf because of this. All right, Moses getting in there, attacking. I get good enhancement. He tried to block with a Firefox, but I reminded him that Holy of Holies is actually like preventing that ability from actually working. So I think he's going to try something else. Oh, he just gives me the soul. Yeah, he ended up blocking with Firefoxes. Firefoxes died. Didn't do anything. Moses just gets in there. So I feel like I got pretty lucky there. And here I make a mistake by playing my Deceiver down. If you notice Sheol, the card Sheol actually only triggers when all your characters share a brigade. So because I played an orange character, now all of them don't share gray, and I can't use Sheol now. So if I was going to play evil enhancement or evil character, I should have played Saul. He played a card that actually allowed him to discard evil card in territory, so he just discarded my 3 Woes. That's like a problem from my perspective. He's doing some stuff. I have no idea what he's doing, nor am I going to pretend to comment and try to give you insightful gameplay commentary about what he's doing. Trying to keep the amount of information I'm throwing at you, trying to keep it reasonable here. I ended up playing Second Coming to grab a... Second Coming allows me to search my discard pile for a good dominant. I'm going to get my 3 Woes back, and I'm going to slap it back on. He ended up not attacking me. because he knew I was just going to entrapping Pharisees again, and he didn't have any outs for that. So yeah, here I'm going to do the second coming, grab 3 woes back. I thought about grabbing Angel of the Lord, because Herod the Great is actually like a really big problem for my deck. If there's only one hero in battle and it's like a toss fight by the number situation, I'm going to struggle. But I felt like I needed to go for the long-term plan of trying to shut down his offense with and make sure Noah's Ark doesn't do anything. I think because I didn't get to attack here because last turn I'd rescued a lost soul that would skip my attack phase. So right now I'm just discarding down to hand size. And if I discarded my covenant with David, I probably should have just made it be an artifact instead of just discarding it. Because who knows, maybe it'll be useful as an artifact instead of just in my discard. So that was a really quick turn for me. I feel like I'm going to miss a lot of shield triggers here. Shield's an easy card to miss triggers on, so I'm making the mistakes here so you don't have to. So my hand is really defense stacked. Pretty comfortable where I'm at right now. The Entrapping Pharisees is such a good combo with the Pot of Mana out. And if he has a Storehouse in play, it's just, there's not a lot opponent can do without trying to remove my Pharisees before the battle even starts. Okay, so this reminds me of a play that maybe happened on the first turn of the game when I attacked with Moses and he blocked with his Emperor Nero. Because I had David's Harp out, I think I could have actually negated Emperor Nero's protectability. So that was a misplay on my part. David's Harp triggers on musicians, and so Moses is actually a musician. So that's another like misplay that I want to highlight here for you guys at home. All right. I think he realized he couldn't do anything again. He passed the turn back to me. I started a turn, grabbing a card from the top of my deck using the Virgin Birth. I'm going to grab this Eliezer hero, make it so my artifacts can't be negated because that's still something I'm worried about here. But right now, I think the biggest problem for me is I'm just thinking about he's going to do Herod the Great. I'm just thinking, what types of things can I do to stop Herod the Great here? I just grab a Plague of Frogs from my hand. Now I could have played Eliezer down here, but Herod the Great actually chooses people to attack. So if I put him down, that was like a free choosing. He would just choose Eliezer to attack, and that would just be bad for me. So that's why I'm going to hold him in my hand until I can try to take out his Herod the Great. So he's going to find Herod's Temple, put Herod's Temple into play, and during battle, he's going to reserve the top card of his deck to toss all enhancements played. And he's also Herod the Great also chooses a new character to attack. So he's going to choose my David. I think I missed a shield trigger. So David had the option to convert to search deck for OT card, which maybe I should have done. All right, I toss my 5/2 enhancement, try and get it down. So for toss, for those who don't know, toss is this ability that happens where when you play enhancement, instead of like resolving the effects of the enhancement, instead enhancements like put directly in the discard pile and the numbers are subtracted from the opponent. So if I played a card with 6 attack and 0 defense, I think his defense would go down by 6. So it's just like this really brutal fight by the numbers. Okay, he's going for a play here. I'm not sure if this works or not, technically speaking. He's playing a card which discards a card hero from my territory, puts a Philistine into battle. And so even though our guys died in mutual destruction after the toss battle, I'm not sure if I was actually able to rescue a soul here. That's something I'm very unclear on. But for the sake of the game, I decided to just say like, hey, okay, that works. And I didn't want to wait around for a judge ruling. I'll probably ask in the Discord later. Right now I'm trying to get down to hand size. I decide to just use my Son of God to rescue something. I have 2 lost souls. My opponent has maybe 1. You see that soul count down there? I think it somehow got flipped where I have 2 and they have 1. Okay, so they're playing a card called A New Beginning. Shuffle all cards in play, set aside areas in hands. Each player may draw 8 cards, and basically the game restarts. And I'm not going to go and finish this commentary. I just wanted to give you guys like a good understanding of how this deck was doing and what its strategy was, because as you can saw, it basically doubled the game length, and we basically started a new game from this point on. Yeah, it's super grindy. I think the game ended in a stalemate, 3-3. And I didn't want to drag you guys through that. So maybe I can record another game and talk about just like the first couple turns of that game as well.